All right, good afternoon. So today you're going to be following along, taking these notes with us. And we're going to be talking about solving equations, one step and two step. After we take our notes, you will have a page of practice problems that you're going to be doing on your own. All right, so before we learn to solve equations, we need to learn about inverse operations. Inverse means the opposite. So you're going to want to find or list the opposite of each one of these. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. Opposite of subtraction is addition. Opposite of multiplication is division. And the opposite of division is multiplication. All right, so now let's look at an example of a one-step equation. In step one, you want to isolate the variable. What this means is we are going to try to get the variable by itself. And you do that by doing the inverse operation of whatever operation is going on in the problem. Step number two is you're going to apply the inverse operation, which is plus 6 to both sides, and then you solve from there. Again, you're adding 6 here because you want to essentially get rid of that. So get variable alone. All right, so we're going to go through these next 4 and we're going to do them together. So x minus 9 equals 12. So the opposite of minus would be plus. So I'm going to add those two and that cancels it out. And it's just like fractions. When you add or multiply or divide or subtract on one side, you have to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to add 9 there. I get 21 and then I bring down my equal sign and I bring down my variable. And that tells me x equals 21. All right, over here, we're doing 5 times x equals 60. So the opposite of x, or the opposite of multiply, is to divide. So this little symbol is going to mean divide. So if I divide on this side, I'm going to divide on that side, and then bring everything down. And 60 divided by 5 is going to be 12. All right, the next one is 13 plus x equals 62. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract from both sides. 62 minus 13 gives me 49. Bring everything down. And x equals 49. All right, this last one is x divided by 11 equals 132. So the opposite of divide is to multiply. That cancels out. So I'm going to multiply that, and then I'm going to bring everything down. So x equals 1,452. So that is how essentially you would solve one-step equations. So now to make sure that you do it correctly, you can actually use what x equals or whatever the variable equals, and you can plug it back into your problem. And if you get the right answer, then you know that you're correct. So you can substitute the answer you get into the original equation. So now we're going to try with checking. So we're going to plug the stuff back in. So we know that x equals 21. And then, so I'm just going to plug in 21 minus 9 equals 12. And I'm going to do my subtraction. All right. Which tells me that 12 equals 12, which means I did it correctly. All right, same thing over here. X equals 12, so 5 times 12 equals 60, and I know that's correct, so I did it correctly. And this one, x equals 49, so I'm going to do 13 plus 49 equals 62. And in this one, I know again, because I substituted incorrectly, that I got the correct answer. All right, the last one is 1,452 divided by 11. I know that's right because I use a calculator. Will give me 132, and I know that x equals 1,452. So the check method is really good if you're not sure or when you first start doing this. So it's one of those things where on the practice you are going to be required to check your work, just so you get in the habit of knowing how to check it if you need to in the future. All right, so that's one-step equations. That's what the left side is. All right, the right side, one-step equations is not terrible, just doing one of them. So now with two-step equations, you just kind of repeat step one, step two, excuse me, until you get your variable by itself, and then you know you have the correct answer. So again, you're isolating, which means by itself, and you're going to repeat steps until the variable is all by itself. All right, so here they did, because it's 3x minus 4 equals 41, so they added 4, and then divided by 3, and then ended up with x equals 15. So again, you just repeat one, repeat. So let's go down here and let's give it a try. So we're going to start with 10, and that cancels, and I'm going to add 10 to both sides, and I'm going to bring everything down. So it's just like one-step equation, except for now you still have something with your variable. So now the operation between these two is multiplication, so I have to do division, which cancels, and that cancel, or I do the same thing on this side. So 28 divided by 2 gives me 14. So that's two-step equations. So again, you're doing it until you end up with just the variable by itself. All right, this is 3 plus x divided by 4 equals 13. So I'm going to subtract 3. Then I'm going to bring down x divided by 4 equals 10. Multiply by 4, which cancels. Multiply by 4. X equals 40. Right, same thing for number 10. We have we have 10 plus 7x equals 45. So I start with my 10 and I do my subtraction. Bring everything down. So I have 7x equals 35. I'm going to divide by 7 because that's the opposite of multiply. And then x equals 35 divided by 7 is 5. All right, the last one of our examples is x divided by 5 minus 11 equals 10. So again, doing the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. Bring everything down. So I have x divided by 5 equals 10 plus 21, or 10 plus 11 is 21. All right, then I'm going to multiply by 5, and x equals 105. All right, and you can do the same check method as we did with one-step equations. So you're just plugging in your information, and then you're solving order of operation. So x equals 14 here. So I'm going to do 2 times 14 minus 10 equals 18. So 2 times 14 is going to give me 28 minus 10, which is going to give me 18 equals 18. So I know that I did it correctly. The next one is x equals 40. So I'm going to do 3 plus 40 divided by 4 equals 13. So order of operation, 40 divided by 4 is 10. So I do 3 plus 10 equals 13, and 13 equals 13. All right, the next one is 10 plus 7x equals 45. X equals 5. So 10 plus 7 times 5 equals 45. That becomes 10 plus 35 equals 45, and then 45 equals 45. And the last one, number 4, we have x equals 105. So 105 divided by 5 minus 11 equals 10. All right, when you do 105 divided by 5, you get 21 minus 11 equals 10, and 21 minus 11 is 10 equals 10. So you know that you did them all correctly. So definitely keep your notes out today when you're doing your practice problems, and good luck. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'll see you guys later. Bye.